everyone. Welcome to Dear Alice. Today is some of your favorite episode of the whole year, and that is the High Point Market recap. Sue and I just got home about 2.5 weeks ago from High Point, and that is North Carolina. It is kind of the furniture hub of America, and I want to say the biggest furniture market in the world. And this is such a fun place for all designers to get together and to see what's new and what's next. And so our vendors are making things and showing us what's going to be available for spring of 2026. And that's what we wanted to tell you guys that we just barely had a front row seat of. I know that you're wanting to know too. And some of you even came to market because we know interior designers tune into this. So you're going to be feeling this as well. And I wish this was a two-sided conversation so that you could pipe in on it. But that's what today's podcast is about. Quick reminder that the Black Friday sale just started at Alice Lane Home. So check it out at alicelanehome.com. The Black Friday deals are up to 30% off, which is crazy. And they're also in stock. So you're going to want to take advantage of that. Again, it's at alicelanehome.com. And then we also want to encourage you to check out our home furnishing design service. If you have a project that you're working on, it's a free consultation and they're going to dig in and discuss your project, your style, and help you get that room started or finished, or maybe you've been hung up on the rug. They are a really great resource, completely complimentary. You're just going to go to our website and go to the Design Services tab, scroll down and hit Home Furnishing Design, fill out the little questionnaire, and we're going to get back to you like the same day, and we'll be able to assign a designer to your project. It's been such a great service, and really everybody's so complimentary of it. They can't believe it's free. So lean on them if you want any help with a space. Suze.
Yes.
What is High Point Market? Why do we go?
Okay. High Point Market, we've been going for like the last, how many years?
17 years. So probably like 35 markets.
Yeah. And the High Point Market is like, if we, like when you first started Alice Lane, you guys went because you needed to source furniture to like see who's reputable, who do we want to actually pick up and show in our space. And it's because Alice Lane was is a retail store and was a retail store. And in the beginning days, you had to go and you had to really show the paperwork. You had to say what stores were around you. You had to have a picture of your store to really qualify that you could even go into certain showrooms. So this really was a big retail game back in the day, and certainly up till 2008 when we got started. Today, it's kind of changed where interior designers are what's taken over High Point Market, and you don't have to have a retail store. Some of us still do, but anybody working on their projects and is a designer, has their license, can go and attend and really be inspired on the forefront of design of what makers are making and what they can specify for their projects. Yeah, it's the REM song, Happy Shiny People.
Yes.
Like that is what High Point is. Like it is like a high school reunion because you're seeing people that, like relationships. We're seeing all the furniture manufacturers and vendors, and we're talking about trade, situations and how we're solving for it. And so you're talking to people just like on the front lines of like who's making this and how are we getting it into our projects. But you're also just being inspired. So often we're the ones presenting to our clients and like solving for these problems, but somebody's presenting to us at High Point, which is why we love it so much, because we just get to kind of drink from the hose, and it's so fantastic. And I kind of compare it to like if you're an artist and you're invited to go to a residency and you're around all these other artists and you're different types of artists, but you're inspiring each other. That's what High Point is for us. We are getting impressions, and there are some showrooms that like really take the time to like really style it and, show us a lifestyle that just like is so lovely for our eyeballs to look at. And then others, we're just like looking at the frames and being like, how are we going to interpret that in our style for our clients? And so it's just like, it's inspiring and it's brain camp, and we're thinking about all of our projects, but overall it's just, you're drinking from the most beautiful hose.
And it just makes you really dangerous at your craft. So we were excited to report back on what our eyeballs saw at market really felt like was the next thing.
Yep.
And I think leading the charge is color.
Yeah, for sure. We've been like talking about like podcast for a while, like this color drench, how we feel something when you're like saturated in an environment that is colorful. And so we saw that at market, and people, we saw very few white frames, like white upholstery. It was all color drenched.
Yep.
It was
Totally.
so fantastic.
And what we're going to show you, the few standouts that stood out to us was reds, full range of reds.
Yep.
We saw blues you'll be surprised at the blue palette. Greens also, I think, really fun and fresh.
Super freshy fresh.
In the green family.
Yeah.
And then we're going to take you through patterns. Patterns are huge. We know they've been big in wallpaper. They are now everywhere in upholstery. We saw pattern sectionals. We saw pattern sofas. We saw this on occasional pieces. Pattern is huge, and I'm excited to take this on. We also saw a lot of dressmaker details along with pattern. So that means you're getting box pleats on sofas, you're getting slip covers on sofas, fully upholstered to the ground, occasional chairs and dining chairs.
The finest tailoring.
Yes.
To like flow match all these patterns, because I'm like the patterns and the dressmaking details, that is for the greats. Like you have to really know how to do the layers to make it look right. And so I'm excited to show you those.
Yeah. And then the last one is exotic woods. Exotic woods are huge. This feels really like pulling us back to vintage times. Definitely the 70s.
Yeah.
And then even earlier. But these some of these veneers and the craftsmanship, we are in the fine furniture game. And the decorating is huge.
Yep.
Decorating is back. So you're going to be using your trims and your contrast welts and all of the tools of the trade.
Yes, and the garlands.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely. It feels a little bit like the 80s and 90s reimagined to me, but I think if we're going to do it in a fresh color palette, it's going to feel like 2026, 2025 traditional. It's going to be a fresh take on it.
That is your goal.
As a designer.
Yep. As a designer, it's our job to kind of like reinvent it a little bit, guys.
Definitely. We're not trying to make you live in your mom's house again. No. Or maybe this is all new and fresh to you. So however you reinterpret it for your client is going to be fun and exciting. But let's get started. We want to show you what we saw in the range of reds.
Okay. In the range of reds, I like that we said that. It's a full spectrum from like pinks to oxbloods. And this first slide, I loved this interpretation of color, and specifically this color on a chair frame. It still feels traditional because you have some curves happening. Right now we're looking at these lounge chairs, these swivels that have this kind of just like arcuated like curve. It kind of hugs you, but it's done in the prettiest like corally
like
rose
strawberry
velvet.
sorbet.
Yes, thank you. That's gorgeous, like a sunset.
It's it's just so fresh. You know what I mean? It's not that Pottery Barn red from 1990. No. It's not, when everybody did like one red wall. This is like a fresh, summery, I don't know. It just
put these in my living room. Like it's not just for a little girl's room, guys. Like the richness of the color.
Yeah.
The richness of the color is so spot on. And I think that I think is what we saw is like the depth of color. It's not flat color on any of these like spectrums. It is like depth. And I loved these chairs.
Shout out to Highland House for those chairs. I know it's one of their best selling silhouettes. And I know that Lee, who picks their fabrics, works really, really hard at trying to find the best mills that are doing it right. And so I always love to see Highland House's take not only on their frames and their scenes, and they always have really great original art, but I always love how Lee pulls fabric together. And this color was really a cool take on red.
So great. Okay, this next one is actually in the Baker showroom, and this is like I think an archived McGuire frame, but I think everybody is candy coating.
Yes.
They're all like, and what I mean by that is they're offering you to customize the frame in any paint color, so Sherwin-Williams, Farrow & Ball, Benjamin Moore, you can kind of select, whatever color of the rainbow that you need to be in that room to really highlight the piece, and you get to tell it to them and they'll spray it in that color. So this chair, I think, again, she's the cool girl at the party. You're just going to look at her, not too comfortable, but she's pretty.
She's your high heels.
She's real pretty.
Yeah.
And just like cool vibe. I think, again, when I think this feels very 70s to me.
I agree.
So I'm like, that's that little bit of 70s that we are feeling. So we love that. This next one, this is probably, I think, one of my favorite scenes as far as color combinations happened. This was in Hickory Chair, and this was in the Hable section. And the walls were kind of in this like peachy orange terracotta earth color. And then they had this like amazing, I can't remember if it was a sofa or a sectional. I was just like so taken by this whole corner. The sofa that's just in this like really kind of fresh woven pink color, but then you get that kind of raspberry, again, sorbet color happening on pillows, and just that triage of color was like everything. Everything.
I think too, having the pillows be in the exact same fabric, this would have been really tempting to want to use a pattern or different colors, but the fact that they use the same Italian velvet on all the pillows. So you're just getting a sort of a shape shifting. You're getting a 22-inch square pillow with an orb pillow all on the same. Felt very disciplined and very chic.
Yes.
Where this could have gotten fun and playful really fast, but it just feels sophisticated.
Yep. And then on the other side of this, like it kept going and all the pillows were in that same velvet in different shapes.
Totally. And in a world right now where you're seeing a lot of color come in and a lot of pattern, and a lot of gloss, and then your rug's going to be a pattern too. It's like the old country song. You got to know when to hold them, and you got to know when to fold them.
Yep.
You got to know when to walk away. You got to know when to run.
Keep going. I like that.
But do you know what I mean? Like, kudos to Hable
I know.
for knowing when to hold them.
I know, because I bet they felt some peer pressure.
In the world
Guarantee
of decorating, you could have decorated the hell out of this.
Yes.
And I'm just so glad that they didn't.
You held.
In fact, the discipline of it makes it chic.
Yes.
But
so
that is going to be the job of designers going forward, because you got a lot of things at play. And there's a lot of tricks to be had. And you're going to be seeing that you can put a skirt on things, a pattern on things. You can candy gloss a thing. You've got to really have the discipline to figure out exactly who your client is in this mecca of decorating. Because we've been able to really get around with a lot of neutrals, which feels disciplined.
Yeah.
So now you've got to figure out your discipline with color and pattern, right?
Yep.
And shape
and
and form. And you've got to really do a study on this. And it's a new muscle.
It is.
And you're going to have to figure out when to flex and not to flex. But you've got a lot of tools here to play with.
And I will say the number one thing that people ask us is like, what is timeless? Knowing when to hold them is timeless. When you have a patterned wallpaper and you have a pattern on all these things, like you have some big commitment. These are expensive decisions that if that is your look and you love that, go for it. And if you feel like you're going to love that forever and always, go for it. But if you can reinvent it and through your lens with color blocking and still have the wallpaper and still have the rug and everything, like that is, I think that's going to be the fresh take that we need to like make sure we're employing. Don't just like hop onto the pattern wagon and say we have to have everything patterned. Like, know when to hold them.
Right.
Like Jess said. Will Rogers? No. Kenny Rogers. Thank you.
Thanks, Kenny.
Okay. All right. This next one is just this darling little table. Again, these candy coated colored tables we're seeing, and I think it gives a real freshness to the patterns. Yeah, you kind of need these forms.
Yep. You're going to see a lot of the furniture makers, which are just making their same silhouettes available now in any colorway, like Suze is saying. So not only is color back, but color with sheen is back. And that's why we're calling it candy coated, is because you get this glossy effect. And this is a way to kind of skirt by needing to completely repaint your whole room, is like, let's just bring in some of the glossy finishes, right? So let's do it with paint on case goods. Let's do it in, if we're using a velvet, let's make sure it has a sheen, right? We're kind of done with those dry fabrics, those super dry wovens, and things are just, they're lifting a little bit and they're helping to reflect the light, and you're getting this dressier effect. Yeah.
And it feels great.
It does. It was fun to be in.
Yes. These next two scenes were ones where like the showroom did a really great job at like preaching this story of the color drench and of just the richness. I think this first one, these are both from Baker, and the fact that like both of these upholstered sofas were done in this oxblood color, I thought was like everything.
Yeah.
Like I would have been so sad if those were split down the middle in different fabrics.
Yeah.
And then that the art also spoke to it. I know oftentimes we'll say the art, it should talk to it, but it doesn't need to say the exact same story. But this was a beautiful, both of these next images that we're showing you. I think the fact that the art is so true to what's happening on the ground is like amazing.
I think it gave it a focus.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's a real discipline. In this next scene, we're in Baker, and this is a color drenched scene, and we're in various shades of the same, we're in various shades of red, I'll say. And I think walking into this, I felt was very sophisticated.
Very.
We've got a low sectional in this. It's almost like a long banquette, biscuit tufted. The pillows are biscuit tufted. They're boxed. And it's all in this really beautiful, really dark red fabric. It's a woven. And then the wall color behind it is another shade of red that has a little more orange in it. The artwork, big, beautiful red print, and then it has a black frame, a beautiful white surround. And then we had the ottoman was another shade of red with a bit of oxblood stripe down the middle. So varying shades of red, which kept it interesting as a color drench, but the discipline in this scene and the sophistication were so good. I had to sit here and just stand and needed to feel it with my body as a designer and go, this is chic.
Yeah.
This is full-blown color.
Yeah.
There's not a neutral in the scene. But I love the way it felt. And you just have to experience these things as a designer to have confidence to be able to fully go all in with a space. It was moody. It was rich. I just loved it. You had to pull your camera out. You were experiencing something really great.
And in spaces like this, it was almost like the art inspired the whole palette. Like they started with the art and then it went from there, which brought a really great focus.
And
like
it can.
To that piece.
Yeah. The rug can, the art can. It can totally inspire that shade. You can get your paint deck out and throw it down on top of a rug or on top of a piece of art and really dial in that spectrum of colors you want to use, in this case, red.
You know why we like it so much is it's just like, it's a color block, but all in that same tone.
Yeah. Have you ever given a gift that's instantly become someone's favorite, the one that they can't stop using? I'm here to tell you the Bubble Cuddle Blanket is on my list. It has this really cool high pile faux fur mid-weight construction. I've never seen a faux fur blanket do this before, but it's instantly luxury, so fun to snuggle with, great for movie nights, great for family. And I just really want that for my mom and dad, for my brothers and sisters. I know this is going to be a hit with anybody I give it to. And they have a risk-free purchase at Cozy Earth. So you're going to be able to get a 100-night sleep trial. You can try anything out. If you don't love it, you're going to return it hassle-free. They also have a 10-year warranty because once you feel the level of comfort, you'll want it to last a decade. Black Friday has come early at Cozy Earth. Right now, you can stack my code Dear Alice on top of their site-wide sale, giving you up to 40% off in savings. That's CozyEarth.com, code Dear Alice for up to 40% off savings. These deals won't last, so start your holiday shopping today. And if you get a post-purchase survey, be sure and mention you heard about Cozy Earth right here.
We love reds. Okay, on to the next one. Now we're going to go into blues.
Yes.
I feel like we've been saying this, like it's been kind of hot. Like when are we going to start feeling that pendulum swing over to the cool side?
Yep.
And we're feeling it. Like we saw it when I was going through all the pictures, like trying to identify what these trends were. Like there were more blues than greens. There was more blues than yellows. And I was just like, okay, it's forecasting spring.
What was interesting was this wasn't your navy blue. You could make a case for, oh, sure, this is all jewel tones. It's red, it's navy, it's emerald. It wasn't. This shade of blue is that icy Italian light blue. Mm-hmm. It's like the light color of denim that you wear in the summer. And again, forecasting spring, like you're saying, but it was a fresh take on blue. There was also a dot of turquoise in the water, if you will. Just a little bit. I mean, if you look at the first image that we're showing you up on the screen, this is like your classic light denim sort of color of blue, and there's sort of a spectrum. The chair is a little bit more saturated, and then you've got blues in the rug, and you can see that striped ottoman, and that's a really good example of pattern, playing with pattern, right? And then the second image, this is when you get a little dot of teal in the blue, which is actually really exciting to me and feels fresh. And this is what I'm talking about when we're going to take on traditional. Let's do it in a fresh palette, because then it's going to feel like 2025 traditional instead of 1990 traditional. So I think they've done a great job here. We're sitting atop an Ushak. They've made it fresh with a glass table, brass edges, and then we've got an armless sofa with bolsters. I will say the bolster is the king of pillows right now.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
We didn't even talk about that, but Didn't you just see the bolster everywhere? Yeah. For those of you that don't know what the bolster is, it's that Tootsie Roll shaped pillow. It's that long cylinder. It's got piping on both ends. And here in this scene, it's a self fabric, same as the sofa. Very disciplined, very chic.
But kind of back to the Hable thing of just like using that same color over and over and over again on the pillows.
Yeah, you don't have to go crazy pattern play, which I do think the 80s and 90s would have done a really patterned pillow. They might even put a ruffled edge on it or something like that.
Stripe on the end, mitered 10 times.
Which gets a little dollhouse, right? Yeah. You can go that way if you love that and that's exciting to you and you haven't seen it before, or you can be more disciplined with it and just lean into the tailoring, keep it all in the same fabric, or do another color drench moment, but you don't have to use pattern.
Yeah.
That's, I think, a fresh, more contemporary version of the traditional trend.
Yeah, but like we all gravitated toward the sofa, and we all like sat in our section. It was really great, actually. Like, I felt like it was a great party.
Do you want to know what? This isn't the first time we saw an armless sofa either at market.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's going to be a thing. I just thought I'd say that out loud, that we continue to see armless sofas from several vendors.
Yeah, I think it's especially like party goers. Like, I don't know, like this is a party sofa. Like you can kind of like come in, escape easily if it's in a bad conversation.
The Irish goodbye.
So, good goodness, there's not an arm here to block my exit. But,
I love it.
But there is something cool about it, and I think that feels very 70s.
Yes.
As far as like the ease in, ease out.
Yeah,
you know, like,
non-committal.
It is. It's so good. But the color tones were there.
Yep.
On this next slide, we're seeing like this darling little like side chair, Frenchy block and tapered leg. Again, back
French
to
slipper
French
chair.
slipper chair.
Yeah,
it's so pretty because, again, I will say a white frame makes it feel fresher than a dark frame.
Cheers.
On when you're using colored upholstery. Like I will, like both of us will opt usually for a lighter frame than doing a darker frame, just so it freshens up and it doesn't go stodgy.
Mm-hmm. We've been known to use a white dining table instead of a dark mahogany one, just to keep it fresh.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. So you can play around with your finishes. Everybody's down to do that. And you're going to want to just, again, 2025 traditional. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, I love that. The next one, again, just blue upholstery, and I love this tone of it. This almost reminds me of my son's colored walls. Totally. It's that melatonin that has a little bit of violet in it. So it's a fresh blue, and that's why we kept.
What did you call it? Melatonin with a dot of violet?
You called my boys' walls melatonin.
Oh
and every time I go in, I'm just like,
so
it's so good. It's like just like douse myself with melatonin and magnesium, vitamin M. That's what this color is.
It is. It's like sleepy time tea.
Yes, it's enough. It's enough violet to just like make it complete, like a dose of like calm for your brain.
Totally,
it's so good. So
good.
Again, okay, and then just rugs. We kept seeing all the rug vendors had just like blue happening.
Totally, and a full spectrum of blues to play in. You've got some greens that you can see too, some yellows. So whatever it is that you want to pull out, you can have a lot of fun with that. Mm-hmm. You saw in that last one a little bit of that pistachio green, which has been so hot this year. And you could see a pair of slipper chairs in that pistachio green, feeling really, really young and fresh, but still being in that traditional vein.
And on this left one, like, go ahead and do that lemon sofa. Like,
yes.
That would be amazing.
That's your job. It's your job to do the lemon sofa on that rug.
Please do.
Yes. We would love to see that.
Send us pictures. I can't wait. Okay. This next slide is from the actual, like, the antique sector of the market. And I just, again, that color, you almost like snatch these up for yourself.
My gosh, that just turns me.
You.
Oh, I just love that. I feel alive when I see it. It's
really good. You have a coat that color.
It's like
always wanted to
cobalt
steal that.
Or what's that really beautiful Eve's Klein blue almost?
Almost not, probably not quite as cool, but there's like the Cerunian something to it. It feels magical, like the seas of Capri.
I was just gonna say Greek. It feels Greek, but on a French silhouette.
Yes,
I love
so
it. I feel alive when I see that.
When I saw this, and then just like this like needlepoint little tapestry number.
Yes,
I'm like, that's the little vintage that we all need.
My gosh, I feel like Alsay needs to develop a really low ottoman like that, just for your little 5'4" frame. Just something to set your feet on.
Yeah. Just like lift the legs so your thighs look thinner. You know you do that,
and
ladies.
also you want the support in your lower back.
Okay,
you're welcome. Yep. Totally.
Okay, green. Let's go to green.
Suze's favorite color.
I love green.
Yes.
It's so great. And it was so fun to see some of these frames doused. We've seen them in red. We've seen them in other colors from these vendors. But they went ahead and did it in a high lacquer green for me this year. And I'm so happy about it.
I want to give a quick appreciation for the shade of green that is popping up. This is not emerald green or hunter green from the 90s. This is like this fresh lily pad green. What color would you call this, Suze?
I don't know. It's like somewhere between like moss with like the dark part of the celery, and I don't know. It's
a fresh take.
It's really fresh,
and
but
also
there's something kind of old school cool about it also, but in a fresh way.
But also, thank you for making it high gloss, because that also gives into the freshness.
I know. If it was matte, it would look like pea soup. Worst ever. Gross.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
But the fact that it's glossy, like, it has cool factor.
Yes.
And it just feels fresh. Again, I just love
this. This is Highland House. This is case goods that they've already offered. They're just offering them in these beautiful candy coated, any color under the sun, any Benmore color, any Sherwin-Williams, whatever you want. They're going to high gloss these for you. And this is a really great trick to get these into your spaces.
Here's a couple of upholstery pieces that we saw in this like really rad green mohair, kind of same tone as those case goods, but
almost like
just
lima bean green or pistachio green. Love that.
And the whole thing was like the legs on this piece,
Fully
all
upholstered.
Same thing with like this other little Kelly green moment.
Shout out to the 60s and 70s for the fully upholstered leg.
Yeah.
That's another tailoring trick. So again, these furniture makers are on point. They're doing things the hard way. This is not easy. We saw a 4-poster bed fully upholstered in stripes. So hard. A vertical stripe going the full height of 8 feet for this 4-poster bed. They turned that stripe, that small stripe. So good. Sides. Yeah.
So good.
This shade of green, this is Mark Sykes. We're a really blue green here. It's like a traditional broadcloth looking.
I'm very Southern about that.
I do too.
Yeah.
I do too. Yeah. But he's got like his fresh take is the white welts and the white buttons. And it definitely feels like a Southern porch or a Southern living room.
Yep. Here's a couple pieces in green. Also, leather. We saw a lot of leather in general.
Leather. Guys, are we in the mood for leather?
I know. I was just slipping and sliding on all the leather things.
I saw it and I was like, I see you, but I don't want to talk about it yet.
Okay.
It's too soon.
Okay. Let's bypass. We don't have to go
No. But what was your take on it? Did you like seeing it here? I feel like it's their job to push the needle, these designers.
On a bed, try again, slippery. But I think, thanks Ryan for that love. Anyway, we always say like you got to get some skin in the game. So in every room, whether it's an ottoman or a chair or something, we love to see some leather in it just for like variety of textiles and things. So I like it. I don't know if I want a whole sectional out of leather. I don't want a loose cushion out of leather. I want it to be tight.
Yeah.
Again, we've all sat on like the loose cushion seat and it's just like,
yeah.
Or it's like your back like also just decompresses it and it feels weird. Doesn't feel quite right. So I like leather. I like it on a tight seat. Just gotta check if you slip off, man. Like just becomes slippery. So the bed actually I think is if you want some leather in your bedroom, the bed actually is great because you're going to have pillows in front of it anyway. Also, and I think it's crisp.
Let's just talk about that beautiful color combination.
God damn.
Hickory chair. This is again Susan Habel's collection through them. She's made this bed before. She's just doing it in a new way. And we are looking at a really deep moss green, I would say.
Yeah, so pretty.
Yeah, leather headboard. And it's against sort of a baked terracotta looking wall. The art looks fantastic with it. That fresh combination is great. Actually, it's kind of giving me a little bit of 90s feels because Mom, I see you. And I remember the mint green and peach bathroom from the 80s. Yeah. So that combination, same thing with blue and brown was like a big combo in like the late 90s, early 2000s. These are combinations that just work. Yeah. And this feels fresher than mint, seeing it in this darker green, but I kind of digging it with that.
And the profile's crisp.
Wall.
I think that's the difference between like the 90s and like now. Just like it's our job to make sure that if we're going to do these color combos, we clean up our profiles and make them cool.
Yeah.
So
I kind of modernized it.
Yep. So good job, Habels. I love that. And then, you guys, this rug, we all just kind of like gasped and stopped in our tracks and we ordered some for the store, I think, right? These are one of a kind.
So if you can't see this, we always hit vintage rugs first because we want our first pick of the litter of these. So we were able to grab a couple of runners with almost look like Swiss crosses on it. And they're done in shades of green and yellow. And I could see this in a ski house. I could see this in your house. I could see this in any house that needs a little vintage shot and a little bit of color and pattern.
Like a great scarf or something. I don't know. There's something just super cool about having that float down hallway.
And the Moroccan, sort of that high pile, also feels 70s, that sort of shaggy, loose, easy.
Like, I'm cool.
I'm a good time.
Yeah.
MBD. I like the attitude that this will add to a house.
I do too. Okay, pattern. Let's talk quickly about pattern. We've been seeing that kind of like float around Instagram and all the shelter magazines for a while, that pattern's the next big thing. We saw this. It is true.
Yeah. Pattern is it's going to be its own discipline. It's really hard for me so far I don't wear pattern. I notice I'm, like you're saying, a color blocker. Yeah. I feel like there's a lot of sophistication in choosing one thing and making it like your hero, or knowing how to complement it. So pattern is all of a sudden like, whoa, just a minute. It's like the sofas are wearing wallpaper now. So it's going to take a new set of eyes to really understand pattern. I really liked how, I think it was Highland House here, they used the exact same pattern on the chairs and the sofa.
I did love this.
And I thought that was a really fresh take. This is kind of an ikat, if you will, which was just sort of a textural stripe. And you can really feel it in the weaving, which I think made it feel expensive. It was not a print. It was a woven pattern. And I think the quality of patterns are going to be really important as you get into this game, as using great fabrics. And here's the weird part, you guys. We're in a place where there's not extraordinary ability to find great fabrics from what we're understanding. As we talk to those people that are selecting the fabrics for the different showrooms, they're saying it's not like it used to be. The mills that did that were closing down. There wasn't the demand for it. So when you do find a great pattern, it's probably going to be expensive if it's made in a great way. And so you're going to want to celebrate that, whether it be on a whole sofa or you're just doing it on a slipper chair or something like that. We know how precious patterns are and how hard they are to get, especially if they're made in great taste, great yarns and great taste and whatnot. So we just wanted to take a minute to show you guys how we saw pattern done really, really well. This one was a Highland House. The next one we're showing you is also Highland House. This is on an ottoman, and I feel like this has alpaca in the mix. And we're looking at, I will say the colors are almost like a biscuit ground, and then we've got a beautiful lavender paired with a moss green. Yeah. And that combination of colors could just inspire an entire room. And again, back to the hand of it is going to be so important, because if that was just like a flat printed cotton, I probably wouldn't have taken a picture of it. No. At all. But it was because there was so much depth in the actual milling of the fabric. This is fashion. It's fashion, and it's incredible. Yeah. It would change a room. Here's pattern on pattern. Okay. So Hickory Chair is now doing a collaboration with Liberty of London Fabrics. And they were so great. And again, back to your thing of having to do a COM, which means customers own material. That means that you're buying more expensive fabric that you like from this fabric mill and sending it to the furniture manufacturer. They went ahead and pulled in a company to help them do it in-house. And which I think is really, really smart, because it was the only one I saw do that. And these are exclusive to Hickory Chair. Yeah. And so Hickory Chair spent a good deal of their showroom just showing the Liberty of London fabrics on their silhouettes. And the marriage changed the look of Hickory Chair. It's amazing to see what fabric can do for a frame. And these frames were already familiar to us, and all of a sudden they felt brand new again, because not only were we seeing color, and we're seeing pattern, but then we're also having atop a glossy velvet. These things were showstoppers. It was amazing. But it's a fashion house. A lot of schnozery. I feel very fashion house about it. I think so too. And almost storytelling happening on this Laurent bar stool on the right, with this really cute little pagoda scene and boats in the water and cherry blossoms in the trees. And anyway, just really, really fun and interesting. And decorating's back, y'all. I know. Cool factor though is the fact that they color blocked these panels back here and the scene of it, and they had this little eggplant completely saturated modern table with it, and that. Those things kind of made that whole scene win. They freshened it up. Yep. Made it young. Yep. Exactly. Okay. This next one, Liberty of London, on this what do you call that? A liquad. Anyway, it's just beautiful. Again, that fabric, it's just fun to see it upholstered, and how would we interpret it into a space, probably with a lot of depth. I think if you put this in a white space, it would just look old. But if you had a shade of, the red, or a deep ochre or something, then it becomes cool, It feels like you could sit in the middle of a dressing room or something like that. Or an amazing closet. Yes. Okay. We did see a lot of things happening with patterned shades. Again, I think you likened this one. This is from Julian Chichester. They did such a fun job. Their whole showroom's always one of our favorites. But it's just, again, I think it's just that vintage quality of just being able to kind of patterned shades. And I'll also say Visual Comfort did a collaboration with Schumacher, and they're making, I think you can get any of the shades made in Schumacher fabrics. Yeah, which is big, so you can major. COM shades, if you will, from there. And then they also had these really great, big, beautiful, almost felt like hot air balloons, but they're orb lights out of Schumacher fabrics with really beautiful brass rails over the top of it. So a lot of decorating tricks, a lot of pattern, a lot of resources of fabrics now that you can put on those shades to give it those custom details. Yeah. So you don't necessarily have to find a workroom to work with, unless Schumacher or some of these aren't in your client's taste range. But it is going to be more readily accessible to have these decorator tricks available to you. And again, just here's a couple more patterns. I love, again, back to geometry. This is a sofa in this small little velvet stripe. And again, it's patterned, but it's a smaller pattern, so therefore far away it reads a little bit more solid. Yeah. So if you're just warming up to the fact and you still want to
Like this is something I think I would probably do. And then I would do like colored pillows.
You did do that.
I did actually do that.
Yeah.
Thank you for reminding
You're
me
welcome.
of that. Thank you.
Yes.
Yes, that happened. This next one is the Starling little tulip chair. Again, the tailoring of it, like when you have a good workroom to do something like this, it's beautiful as an accent table
so
chair.
pretty. These are both Wesley Hall.
Yeah.
And I think tailoring is definitely at the top of their list of things that they dominate at. And with pattern, you want a great workroom that can flow match. You can see on this diagonal striped sofa that not only is the cushion across the top of it, but then down where you get into the boxed cushion, it's going to exactly flow match that diagonal stripe onto that. And you want a workroom that can really do the hard work of flow matching. And it's something that Wesley Hall's always been really great at. And they're great at fabric and all of it. So shout out to them. They looked really good.
Oh, good. Okay. Dressmaker details. Let's tell them about Dressmaker details, Jessica Bennett.
Yeah, so we touched on this a little bit, but this is same frames that you are used to getting from a lot of your furniture makers, but now they're made with skirts. So your sofas might have box pleats. You might have something that's slip covered that drapes all the way to the ground. You can do that in a modern way, like the image that's on the screen right now. This is Tara Shaw through Century. She had this really great silhouette that is not fussy. It almost feels like a contemporary silhouette, but completely draped to the ground in linen. Just felt so chic, don't you think?
She also had a couple of these in like a leather.
She did, with like a little...
And skirted it with leather.
Yes, with like a little pinched pleat on the back. Lovely. I've never seen a slip-covered, leathered, tailored like that. It was in a nubuck leather, and she made it in charcoal or natural, I believe.
And it only
really
comes like that because they mastered how to do it.
My gosh.
You shouldn't change perfection. It was perfect.
Yeah.
So good.
So good. Contrasting this last image where it's just completely dressmaker to the ground, 2 box pleats on the back just to allow the legs to do their thing. Over to the right. This one is also in Century.
Yeah.
And we've got a traditional box pleated skirt running all the way around it, just like you'd see on a bed skirt. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's like every 6 or 8 inches, you've got a box pleat, a camelback silhouette, which I have not seen since the 90s, bolster pillows. This is back, y'all.
Okay, these next dressmaker details, this ottoman, I thought this was just done really, really well. Again, the flow matching, you can kind of see this green round ottoman that's been mitered at the top, and then how those diagonal stripes then go down to the skirt with the tape. Stop. Like that's all the tricks, y'all. So we love that. Again, green.
I just want to say something controversial really quick.
Go.
I'm not ready for the cocktail ottoman to be back. Okay. I'm so bored of it still. I think we OD'd so hard on the cocktail ottoman. Probably all the way up to like 2017, 18, maybe even 19, that I'm like, I'm going to cocktail table for a while.
I know.
Don't even look at me with your cocktail ottoman.
I know.
I get it. This is traditional.
Matt appreciates for the craftsmanship, though.
I know. They did such a good job. And if a traditional client really wants us, we'll totally do it. Yes. But I just don't feel like I'm not there yet. I really like a blend of mix of materials. And this is a moment to get a really beautiful hard surface with some sort of exotic wood, make a statement. It's just too much fabric in a room. I start to feel like a stuffed shirt. I need a minute. I need a minute for a hard surface.
I know. How are we supposed to display our cocktail table?
It's totally fine. In a bedroom, let's do it. In your in your office, maybe in the middle of a closet, let's do it. But I'm just not ready for it for the family room yet.
That's fair. She said it here, ladies and gentlemen. She said it here. This next image, again, just showing how the tapes are being applied to the bottom edge of that sofa. I thought was really, really beautiful. And then here's a couple more dressmakers. Throw some bullion fringe on it, y'all.
Bullion fringe.
It's back.
It is.
We saw this ottoman both upholstered like solid without the fringe and then with the fringe. I loved it both ways, but there definitely is the person that wants a little bit of that drizzle.
Yep.
Right here.
Yep.
So that is what that is.
For those of you that can't see this is a little gumdrop ottoman. It's kind of a double bubble of a thing. The lower bubble is completely trimmed in bullion fringe, and it covers that bubble, but it still arcuates over the top of that bubble. And so it's just little like Thanksgiving float of a thing.
A tuffet.
It is. It's so darling. And you could just see like a pair of these somewhere, or like one in a closet, or a little girl's room, or a fancy living room.
I would have like migrated that from room to room.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Little Mermaid. Ariel would have just like, that would have been like what she sang off of.
So pretty. And then we've got this desk chair. Yeah. It's got a wood frame, but fully skirted to the ground with a little box pleat on it in a pattern, which is a floral. And beautifully welted, really well tailored, and there's definitely a case for that. More of that same language here on this dining chair, fully skirted to the ground in a Liberty of London fabric. This is hickory chair. Entirely different animal than this sitting on 4 legs.
Yes.
Yeah.
I know. But I do like that it's just like a simple box.
I do
and
too.
Like, I like that versus having
Sort of modernizes it.
Yeah, I'm like, it cleans it up, and I'm like, that's my flavor. I like that a lot.
I do too.
The last one is exotic woods, and I was so here for this.
Yes.
This is probably one of my favorite things that we saw at market.
Let me just say a return to fine furniture making, the craftsmanship that is needed to pull this off, or the veneers, or the parquetry, the carving, the fine furniture. We're going to show you a few slides where it will just blow your mind. And I'm so excited to incorporate some of this into projects.
I feel like we've already started doing it with our heirloom collection. Let's just like quickly say that.
Yes.
With our burl wood, our nightstand.
George collection.
Yeah. Which again, it's the heirloom
We have
collection.
a burl pedestal that's going to be launching beginning of the
pretty.
year. Let me just give a quick shout out for Exotic Woods, because here's the work that it's doing in a room. It does what an animal print will do for your room, but you're getting this pattern either through a veneer, which is a burl, or you're getting it through the inlay, but you're getting a dark and a light tone on one surface, making a pattern, and it does so much for a space. Yeah.
Oh, like the value of this when you see it in a room is like second to none. This first slide is this actual Parsons table that we saw at the antique show. And we all just like stopped. It was like the length of it was amazing. The finish was amazing. And the simplicity of the frame, you didn't need to do anything more because the wood grain did all the work.
Yes.
It's an incredible burl with these highs and lows that just like, I just wanted to like put that on my back and run. It was so good.
So good.
Okay, this next one is from this furniture maker out of Mexico City, Alfonso Marina. And this was like in their front lobby. And I was just like, whoa, nobody was even there. I just had like this moment of silence by myself. And just the parquetry, and it was just like they didn't have anything around it, and you don't need to.
My gosh.
Like it's just like
It's
a moment of
artwork in
silence.
itself.
Moment of silence.
Yeah.
Just okay. These next ones we kept seeing. This next slide again, the burl walnut on a modern frame. I think that's what like again all these. A lot of them don't have a lot of complexity. You will get some more complex moldings, but they won't be in as like figurative woods. But these ones like were just so incredible. Like.
The wood grain does the work. And so you can have a simpler form. Yeah. This is another Parsons table design, but this is actually achieved through an artist painting tortoise on this high gloss cocktail table through Made Goods. And we see them do the same finish on other pieces. They even have a set of coasters that have this really beautiful tortoise. And we haven't seen tortoise in a long time.
No, but I'm
faux
here.
Tortoise. Yeah, It was really good. And you know what? The high polish, again, the high shine is bringing those glossy wet finishes back into focus. So even if you already have a room and it's done in a satin finish, you can achieve some of these glossier effects by bringing in furnishings that will candy shell.
I'm saying 70s bridging 80s right here.
Yeah,
like
I am too.
It's really, really good.
For sure.
Okay. These next ones is just like a mixture of just like the traditional with the modern. But again, those wood tones, the warmth of it, just make it so much more rich. I think the whole space, if those weren't there, that space would kind of fall flat. And again, just like I feel like people are just like carving things again, which is so exciting. Back to like the fine furniture details of just like you have to be good at what you do.
Shout out to Alfonso Marina for these two images. This is again made in Mexico City and just finest craftsmanship.
Yeah, if you want to take it next level, that's your shot. And again, here we have this next slide has like the burl on the frame, but then you have that kind of woven rush happening on the actual front face of the cabinetry, which again goes back to like Southern. I feel very Southern about this.
Yeah, your territory or your style can still come into focus if you want to use burl woods with this. This makes it a little more casual. So if you're in Florida, if you're in the South, I think there's a great case still made for fine furniture that feels a little more casual with this combination of finishes. Yeah.
All right, that's a wrap, guys. Those are our impressions from High Point Market and what we're anticipating for the upcoming season, or what we saw. Our eyeballs love to see is what we just showed you.
Definitely a feast for all. It's drinking from the fire hose, but I hope that gets you guys excited and inspired about what's to come. Again, these things are going to be available in the spring of 26, and you'll start to see others really catching on. Sometimes the market takes a little while, so maybe these things are going to start to come into bloom in 2028 or whenever your projects install. But I think you're going to start to feel this drumbeat happening like we just did at High Point, and I hope those visuals get you excited, because we just feel like our brains our minds, our ability to want to create. Our toolbox feels so full with brand new tricks, old tricks made new again through some of these vendors. Yeah, so good. Thanks so much for tuning in, you guys. A reminder that our Black Friday sale is going on right now. So check that out at aliceleinehome.com. In the Black Friday collection, we're up to 30% off. So make sure and take advantage of that. And just a big thank you to your listeners. And thank you for tuning in. It really means so much. And it was so fun to meet some of you at High Point. We'll catch you guys next time. Hey, thanks for listening. If you like our show, please leave a 5-star rating.